Well, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Forsyth Tech. From all of our friends from the community who are here. Thank you all for being here for what is really a special day for this college. 15 years of Shugart Women's Center. You know, I've thought back over the last few days as I was thinking about this event coming up and all the contributions and everything that it has taken to get us to today. All the work that has occurred, all of the generous support that has got us to today. But then the great thing is the outcomes that we've had. The great thing is the number of lives that have been touched and changed through the work of the Shugart Women's Center. That has come about really because of the leadership of many of you. And I know I always hate to start pointing out some people, but there's certainly some people that deserve some recognition, as all of you do, as part of your contribution as a member of the college community or the larger community we serve, or the Shugart Women's Center community. Within the college, we really have to start with Shireen McLean. Shireen, where are you? Thank you so much. And Terry, I know Terry's here. Terry, thank you so much. They make it happen each and every day. They have tremendous leadership in our student services area. Dr. Jewel Cherry is here. Dr. Cherry, thank you for your support. We've had great support from our Board of Trustees. Ms. Andrea Keppel is here. Ms. Keppel, thank you so much for the support that you have shown and the interest you have shown as a member of the board. Ms. Keppel was responsible for getting the clothes closet started with a donation from the Republican Women's Club. Thank you so much, Ms. Keppel, for all your contributions for Forsyth Tech. And then the person that we really couldn't be here without, and that is the generous support of Grover Shugart. Yes. We were reminiscing a few minutes ago, a number of years ago. Mr. Shugart had been on our foundation board and has been a great supporter of Forsyth Tech. And recall a conversation that we had with another leader who's with us also, but in my office. And Mr. Shugart said, I want to do something and I want to contribute to help families. And that he thought our Women's Center was the place that he could make a difference for families in our community, and he has. And Grover, thank you so much for your generosity and for staying engaged or being supportive and being there for the Shugart Women's Center. He's supported by Dr. Sherry Kovitz, who helped get this center started also. Dr. Kovitz, thank you. You know, just a sort of personal reminiscence that, 9/11, it's one of those things that you never forget what you were doing. When 9/11 occurred, I was in my office meeting with Donna Abernathy, who was then the chair of our advisory committee. And we were meeting about the Women's Center when that terrible day occurred. Never will forget that. And in those discussions we had, we obviously decided not to continue our conversation that day. But I recall that personal involvement we've had with the Women's Center. You know, the Shugart Women's Center has been committed to the success of women at Forsyth Tech Community College. Men also, but particularly towards the women here, about 2/3 of our student body. And it's about removing all kinds of barriers to success, personal barriers, institutional barriers sometimes, community barriers, social barriers, cultural barriers perhaps. Moving all those variables all those barriers that sometimes get in the way of success. And that's what this center has been about. It's been about reinforcing the term, yes, I can. And for so many of you who are here today, and for so many of our students, literally thousands of students have been directly touched by the work of the Shugart Women's Center. And those barriers have been removed, and that academic support and that social support has been provided at our college through the Shugart Women's Center. So welcome. I could go on all afternoon, but the people who are really involved and really know this place can say it much better than I can. But thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your support for the Shugart Women's Center and for the success of our women at Forsyth Tech. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Brown, and today we are celebrating the 15 years service of empowering women and recognizing the work that has been accomplished through this center. In 1999, I stood on the auditorium stage in the Ardmore Hall and introduced a speaker for the grand opening of the Women's Resource Center. Today, I'm an employee of the college, and I would like to give you a short, brief history of a few other things that Dr. Green didn't mention about the Shugart Women's Center. Gloria Sexton, the coordinator for single parents and disabled homemaker program, initiated the idea to start the Women's Center. Dr. Wallen, the former college president, decided to renovate a room in Hoosier Hall into three-room suite. At that time, the Women's Center was the first of the North Carolina Community College campus. In 2002, Mr. and Mrs. Grover Shugart endowed the Women's Resource Center and named it the Shugart Women's Center. In 2003, Shireen McLean became the director of the Women's Center, along with Terry Chandler's assistants. Shireen is committed to the mission and the goals of the center. An advisory committee that is comprised of influential women of the triad have helped guide the center to be what it is today. The Shugart Women's Center promotes the educational, professional, personal development of women attending Forsyth Tech. This has been accomplished through advisory, referrals, information, and resources to assist the positive outcomes. These outcomes are achieved through workshops and displays, through the resource library, and through the enhancement center that provides clothing for women who are going on interviews. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today to celebrate this wonderful center.
Well, good afternoon again. I am Amanda Boston, and I'm the Student Government Council President here at Forsyth Tech. I have the privilege of introducing our guest speaker, but before I do that, I'd like to share a little bit about what the Shugart Women's Center has done for me. About a year and a half ago, I went into my supervisor's office, Mrs. Beverly Lewis, in the Student Activities office, and I sat down and I said, Miss Lewis, before I leave, I want to have something here at Forsyth Tech. I want to have something I've done, and I want to feel that I've accomplished something other than my academics here. And without missing a beat, if you know Miss Lewis, she didn't miss a beat. She said, I have something for you. She picked up the phone and she called Miss McLean. And in 2 days, I was sitting in her office and we were talking and we were discussing these things that I really believe in and I really believe can empower women. And a week after that, I was introduced to Eva Funes, who is now the president of SW Circle, and we bonded. Shugart Women's Center has given me my best friend, honestly. And I can't thank you enough, and I can't thank the Shugart Women's Center enough. We've helped each other through some pretty amazing things, and if the Shugart Women's Center can do things like that, it's an amazing place. It really is. And now on to our guest speaker, Mrs. Valine Franco. She is the interim managing attorney for the Winston-Salem Office of Legal Aid of North Carolina. She has worked with legal aid since November 2002. Ms. Franco received her BA in English with distinction in all subjects from Cornell University in 1995, and her JD degree from Boston College Law School in 1998. While in law school, she was the 1996 Lewis L. Redding Fellow and Little Macmillan Stevenson Scholarship inaugural winner. Prior to joining legal aid, Ms. Franco was an associate for Kilpatrick Stockton LLP in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Ms. Franco has served as a president of the Forsyth County Bar Association, an organization of over 1,200 attorneys. She has also served as a board member for the Fellowship Home of Winston-Salem, as a Big Sister tutor for the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Victory and Partnership Program, and currently serves as chair of a Thoring Action Board of Directors. She is 2011 North Carolina Bar Association Citizens Lawyer Award winner and the 2014 recipient of the City of Winston-Salem Human Relations Commission MLK Young Dreamers Award. She is married to her college sweetheart, Oba Franco, and they have 2 children, Sierra, who is age 12, and Ian, who is age 8. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mrs. Valine Franco.
Good afternoon. I just had the opportunity to have a little bit more conversation with Ms. Boston and Ms. Funes, and Ms. Boston just said, I'm a little nervous. I want to make sure that I do your introduction justice. Thank you. Thank you for doing true justice to that introduction. Thank you so much. It is my distinct pleasure to be here to speak with you today, to have an opportunity to give some remarks about the Shugart Women's Center. And I want to thank, of course, Shireen McLean for the invitation. I want to, of course, say thank you also to Dr. Gary Green, Ms. Kepler, other members of the Board of Trustees that may be here in the audience, and any other distinguished guests that might be here as well that I might not be able to actually by name mention. So I will tell you this. I've had the opportunity to say a couple of speeches in my life and to actually see a couple of speeches in my life. And I know this, Speech Writing 101 says, be brief, right? We're not talking about underwear, we're not talking about legal documents, we're talking about being brief. And I do plan to be quite brief today, I promise you that much. I will say that when I got the call from Shireen to be your speaker today, I didn't say this to her, but I thought to myself, are you sure you want me to speak? At the time, I wasn't really exactly sure what qualified me to be your speaker today. Because, as far as speeches go, I do my best, and I have dreams, but I am no Martin Luther King, right? As far as speeches are concerned. But I thought that perhaps it could have been some of what was read in the bio that was just mentioned. But I think really what it is, and I think what for me it is that I did have the pleasure of serving as a member of the Advisory Council for a number of years, and to really see the work that is done by Shireen and Terry and the center for the students that are there that are able to benefit from it. So I thought, well, how am I going to do this since you're not really Mrs. Speaker of the World? And I thought, well, you know what? We are in a college campus, so I can take advantage of that. I can almost do it like lecture style, right? Maybe almost like a TED Talk kind of thing. Everybody know the TED Talks? So that's kind of what we're going to do today. And I just have a couple of images that I want to just kind of leave with you as I do my talk today, my very brief talk today. So why are we here? We are here, of course, to celebrate people like Gloria Sexton, who initiated the idea for the center, and Mr. Grover Shugart, who provided an endowment. You can't really do these kinds of things without having the funds to help support it, right? So that's why we're here. We're here to celebrate 15 years of empowering women, men too, but definitely with a focus on empowering women. So I got here my college ahead, college just ahead. Look at the sign, it's like in the clouds, and it's a wonderful journey that's coming for a person who's starting out, right? And we know that with community colleges, about 40% of our students are now choosing community colleges. Pretty fantastic, huh? Hence the historical visit that President Obama had when he came here to the campus. And of course, other things that really help you to understand the importance of a college education, the importance of a community college education, one that is so important that our own president is now thinking, well, maybe we need to make this free to some extent, right? Really important. So what do you think about when you talk about an institution like the Women's Center that is aimed at promoting the educational, personal, and professional development of Forsyth Tech female students? I'm going to make this work here. So we're talking about educating women and girls, right? Why? Why is that so important? Think about that for a second. And let's think about, in the face of how important it is, before I answer that question, how difficult it can sometimes be. So we've got here Michelle Obama. She is our first lady, the first lady to the president of the free world, right? And so you think, well, if she's in that position, then maybe it was very easy for her. It was a straightforward process for her to get the education that she received. Look at what she says. I know what it feels like to struggle to get the education that you need. So what does that mean if you don't have resources to really help a person who has that much potential to get the education that they need? We educate women because it is smart. We educate women because it changes the world. How does it change the world, you say? Well, an educated woman will stay healthy, save money. She'll invest 90% of her income into her family. And for the men in the room, I'm sorry, you're only investing at about 30 to 40%. She will build a business. She will empower her community. She will lift her country. She will change the world. But remember, it's not always easy, right? Sometimes, even though in the United States of America, this isn't exactly what it looks like, but guess what? It can sometimes feel that way for a single mom who might be experiencing some troubles as she's trying her best to get her degree. For somebody who has some financial constraints, and guess what? The lights have been turned off. You all remember the snow days? We lost power at my house out in Clemens. And it meant so many things. It didn't just mean heat, the ability to cook. It meant internet access for me. So think about that for a student who may be experiencing those kinds of challenges and struggles. What happens if there's nobody to provide them with a lifeline? A lifeline to keep them going, like Ms. Boston just said and Ms. Funes, the friendship that they were able to create as a result of their experience with the Shugart Women's Center. And oh, what a lifeline it has been. What a lifeline it has been. Over 13,000 students in the years since the inception of this center have had face-to-face contact with the staff there at the center. Over 14,000 have had some sort of telephone contact. There's been financial assistance to over 100 students. who have completed either certificate, diploma, or associate's degree. There are non-traditional program students who have completed in things like carpentry, automotive systems, criminal justice, and others. And a whole host of students who have gotten things, degrees from accounting to therapeutic massage. Really, really important to be able to do what you can to help out. And I think you will all actually join me in saying that this would not be done without the consistent and sustained leadership that Dr. Green talked about of Shereen McLean, Terry Chandler, and most recently, Miss Yolanda Simmons. And I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to ask us to do this again. Let's please give them a round of applause for what they have done. They are the way that so many of the women that have been touched by the center, and men too, but the women, the focus being women, have gotten to done. Right? Graduation. The whole purpose, to be there as a lifeline for these students. Now, if you recall, I said I was going to be brief. So if you give me 20 more minutes, no, I'm just kidding. You know when the pastor in church says, I'm going to be brief, and then 2 hours later he's saying, and in closing. No, but honestly, I am going to step aside because what you are going to hear next is the actual testimonials from some of the women that have been touched by the center. And for the many times that I have sat in a Women's Center Advisory Council meeting, Shereen has great things to say. I promise you, she does. She's doing great work. But the times when I am most touched, when I sit just in awe, when I am amazed, absolutely amazed at what the center does, are the times when I hear the testimonials from the students. Those are the times then when I really realize the importance of the work and how fantastic, how absolutely fantastic the center is, and what a gem it is, because this is not something that's offered in every single school. So congratulations for 15 years. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you today. And remember that, as one of the young ladies that is listed on the website said, this center can be a fruitful form of support that can lift and shift the life and future of a female student. Thank you.
While the trio is getting set up, I'd just like to say what an opportunity and a privilege to be part of the family of Forsyth Technical Community College. I am blessed. I truly am. I also am happy to share a song with you that I wrote called Mirror, Mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, why is it hard for me at all to love, to respect, to accept myself? I'm always looking to others. Mirror, mirror on the wall, I look to you to guide me. Help me see beneath my skin. Help me Help me see the woman within. I see a woman with a voice. I see a woman making a new choice. I see a woman beginning to grow. A woman herself she gets to know. A woman lifting her voice. A woman making a new choice. I see a woman beginning to grow. I see a woman herself she gets to know. A woman. Now, why do we become a broken vessel? Our job before we remember who we are. We are women. Women with our highest women, making new choices. We are women, believing in ourselves. Women, stepping down from the shelf. We are women. Yeah, we are women. We are women. Let me invite all of you to stand up. Seriously, would you please? You didn't know you were going to have to do anything, right? Okay. However you choose to move, I invite you to, move. Or not, that's up to you. Now, oh, wait a minute. You're looking fine, actually. Okay. Now I have a second request. Oh, Lord, yes. I'm going to ask the ladies to sing a lyric, and it's going to go like this. Let me show you. Mm-hmm. We are women. We are women. One more time. We are women. Now, gentlemen, we haven't forgotten you, okay? Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to join the ladies, but we're going to ask you to sing. You are women. You are women. All right, everybody, let's try it one time all together. Ready? We are women. You know, you did really well. That's a check plus plus. I'm sorry, that's the educator in me. All right. So when I do so, that's your indication to sing. Why do we become a broken vessel? Our job before we remember who we are. We are women. Women with forces. We are women. Making new choices. We are women. Believing in ourselves. We are women. Stepping down the shelves. We are women. Two more times. We are women. One more time. We are women. Remembering who we are, remembering who, remembering who we are.
Wow, give her another round of applause. That was inspirational and awesome. Well, good afternoon. I'm Eva Funes, and I am the president of the SW Circle of the Shugart Women's Center, and I'm honored to be a part of this wonderful celebration today. Before I present our speakers, I would like to share the Circle's mission. Our mission is to promote educational, personal, and professional advancement of women by connecting them with a network of fellow students, resources, and development opportunities, and to become women leaders. So, faculty, staff here, or any students, if you know of a female, or if you're a female student that would like to join the circle, please contact the Shugart Women's Center. And now I would like to introduce our student speakers. Our first speaker is Robin Davis, who is a current student. She is taking the Computer Information Technology program. Our second speaker will be Lisa Friends, she's taken the Medical Office Administration program. And Sandra Campbell, 2012 graduate of Business Administration, and Beth Sprinkle, CMA. So let's please welcome Robin Davis up to the stage. Okay.
Well, I'm not Robin Davis. But I just want you to know that Robin is not going to be able to be with us today. She was in my office last night, and I just got a text a few moments ago. Robin has a seizure, and she's at the hospital right now. So keep her in your prayers, and we'll continue to pray for her, and we'll move on with the program. So,
Definitely. All right, so sorry to hear that. Our next speaker will be Lisa Friends.
Okay, you have to let me talk. Hi, my name is Lisa Friends. As you can see, I have 2 kids. I came to the Women's Center so that I could find a place where I could, so I could find a place where I could actually pump for my daughter since I'm nursing her. And that started last semester. And ever since I started here, I've been going to them every time I have a question or a problem. They're just easy to talk to, even if you just need someone to lean on for a little bit if you had a stressful day. And I'm really nervous. They make my day go easier if I go and I just stop to say hi, because sometimes I get up late and I'm rushing to class, and just to take 5 minutes or 2 minutes just to relax. They'll sit there and talk to me. And I will continue going to them until I graduate.
That's awesome. That's just one of the things that the Shugart Women's Center offers, one of the services. Will our next speaker please come up?
Hello, my name is Sandra Campbell. Ooh, it's a lot of people. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Well, I graduated. Wait a minute. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Well, again, my name is Sandra Campbell. Okay, now I'm a little nervous because I can't see y'all. Well, I met Miss Jermaine volunteering when I was a student council government. So then I found out about work study. The place I was at didn't fit me. I'm like, I'm a social person. I need something where I can really talk to people. So work study told me, I got the perfect place for you. I went to Miss McLean. Next thing you know, I'm working in her office. Miss McLean and Terry is some of the two wonderful people you ever want to meet. No matter what you're going through, excuse me. If you talk to them, you'll get through it. At my young age of 45 is when I started at Forsyth Tech, and I thought I was too old to do anything. Miss Shireen told me I was never too old to do nothing I wanted to do. So with that, I went to a board meeting one time with a group of students and faculty. Told them my story. Why a lot of people my age refused to come back to Forsyth Tech. They did at that time. They didn't have the forgiveness law, but to this day, Forsyth Tech does have a forgiveness law. So therefore, if it weren't for Miss Jermaine telling me that I can do what I can do, that wouldn't have happened. And to piggyback on the clothes closet, I thought that was a great idea. To this day, as a graduate, I still come, volunteer, and keep the closet clean with some other people on campus. But then one day it was real cold, and it came to me, So if I decide to find a job in the wintertime, I got some bad clothes, but what about a coat? So now you also, in the wintertime, can go to the Shugart Women's Center clothes closet and get you a coat to go with your professional outfit. Some of the things I was going through at my age, being a single mama, that gave birth to 5 kids, but people know me tell you I have 20 kids, because on even given day, that's how many would be in my house. So I told Miss Shane I was overwhelmed, I couldn't do it. And we talked and we talked and we talked. And by the end of the day, I could do it, and I still can do it. So I would thank you for that. And I'd like to thank Miss Terry, because when I first came to the Shugart Women's Center, it was the Shug Center to me. I could not pronounce the word right to save my life. So, if you ever have any problems, please go talk to them. Lay on their couch, and then you understand why I call it the Shug Women's Center. Thank you.
All right, now Beth Sprinkle.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank Shireen for calling me and asking me to come and speak today. She has been such a great friend to me for so many years. She has such a very important position, and I can attest to that because I've not only been a student here at Forsyth Tech, but I was an employee here for 8 years. When I started coming here as a student, at the time that I came here, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was working at Hospice of Winston-Salem, and I had been working there as an administrative assistant and had seen so many people there as nurses working with patients, and had decided I wanted to do something with patients. That was my goal, but didn't quite know how to approach that, and made the decision to come to Forsyth Tech and see how could I get back into school and see what I wanted to do. So I was introduced to my new counselor at the time, who was Shireen McLean. She at that time was not in the Women's Center. Shireen took me in as her as my counselor, and the first thing she told me to do was to take math. I needed to brush up on my skills. They were stale. And I never took that chemistry class in high school, and that was something that I needed to do. So those were my first 2 classes here at Forsyth Tech. Those two classes I ended up making A's in. And and it was because of the great instructors here at Forsyth Tech. And it was during the summer, so summers are short. Shireen was so pleased with my goals and what I had attained, and she encouraged me even then. And with her encouragement, she said, well, I know that you want to do patient care. She said, so I'm going to put you with the program chair for medical assisting. She said, I think you would be good at that. And so she did. And my career just kind of took off from there. I continued my education in medical assisting. I graduated as a CMA, double AMA. I became certified here at Forsyth Tech. And if it wasn't for Shireen and her encouragement, I probably would not be where I'm at today. She has just been a fantastic mentor. Even then, you could see her potential as the director of the Women's Center. I went on and I was able to get a scholarship through Phi Theta Kappa here at Forsyth Tech. I then also worked as a CMA while working on my bachelor's degree through the Phi Theta Kappa scholarship at High Point University. I was asked by the program chair for medical assisting at that time to teach some classes here, to teach some classes in medical terminology at night. And so I did. This kind of got my foot in the door. So after teaching a few classes, there was a job opportunity. The job opportunity became available, and I was encouraged by Ms. Shireen to apply to this job. So I became the program chair for medical transcription. I was that program chair for 8 years. I also helped to educate students in medical assisting as well. This was a wonderful career. I attained my bachelor's in biology from High Point University. I have gone on with my education, and Shireen has kept up with me even through all of that time and has encouraged me. As an employee, I submitted students to the Shugart Women's Center, those students who were in need. Any student that needed help, whether it be for domestic violence, whether it needed to be students that needed books because they couldn't get those books that they needed for class, whether it be for clothing, I sent those students to her. So I have been on both sides of the gamut for Shireen, and she has been a wonderful person for her. I have gone on and achieved more education just because of her. She has been my mentor. I have now a graduate certificate in community college teaching, and I will finish my master's degree this summer. I will do my dissertation this summer. So I cannot say enough about Shireen and this Women's Center. And I thank Forsyth Tech so much. Thank you, Dr. Green, for your leadership. And thank you to all the instructors.
Good afternoon. I'm Gwen Whitaker. Most know me as the Director of Records Office and Registrar. But for today, I am fulfilling the position that I am in on the Shugart Women's Center's Advisory Committee. I am the chairperson. So at this point, before we go any further, we would like to thank the ladies who came and shared their stories. That's the thing to do sometimes when you are trying to share your personal stories. So we would like to thank you all. I too will sometime go and bounce things off of Shireen and Terry and those guys, so I can relate to what you're saying as we give them their accolades. At this point, we would like to share or give them a little token of appreciation for sharing their story. If I can have Lisa. Thank you. Sandra. And Miss Beth. Now, at this time, I know that we have some past advisory committee members in. If you would, please take a moment and stand and be recognized. Please.
Thank you. Please stay standing. Thank you so much, because I did not get to see you come in. We have in the back Ms. Roebuck, Tawana Wellman Roebuck, and Ms. Richardson, Dr. Sherry Kovitz, Dr. Sylvia Flack, Ms. Feline Franco, and Ms. Carolyn Rajasic. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. That alone speaks volumes of what you think of and how you appreciate the Shugart Women's Center, that you took the time out of your busy day today to stop by and help us celebrate 15 years. That's a lot. Long time, but it has shown over the years that it continued to get better. I don't know what they're going to do as we go forward, because they just have to continue to get better. Now, at this point, if I may, I see that we have some of our present advisory committees here. If you would, please stand and be recognized. I'll take this one. No, come on, get it. Come on, get it. You better. You rolled it.
In the back, we have Ms. Sandra Gaskell, we have Ms. Gwen Guernsey, and we have Jacinta White. Thank you so much for being here.
And this is yours. You switch.
Now it's my turn. I'm just so excited. And as I stand here, and I'm kind of like Lisa, I didn't know the room was this full either. And I'm like, Sandra, maybe I need to take my glasses off so I can't see you and I can remain composed. But as I stand here, I truly am humbled by all of you taking time, all of you taking time to come and celebrate with us. The gratitude that Terry and I have, words can't even begin to explain it. You all have played a significant role in the success of the center and the accomplishments of those who have utilized the services that are offered through the center. Of course, the overall mission is based on the educational, personal, and professional development of women who attend Forsyth Technical Community College, and we do that through, but not limited to, counseling, advocacy, referrals to helping agencies within the community, workshops and seminars, resources that are put in place to achieve positive outcomes. Your support of our efforts by attending our workshops and seminars, and sometimes even being presenters. You've served on advisory committees, and those of you recently served on advisory committees has completed SWOT analysis for me. Thank you very much. You have offered money. You have donated money to the center. You have donated your time, gently used clothing for the women of Forsyth Technical Community College. Students and our graduates, you're the reason that we're here. You trusted us when you were sometimes down and out. You trusted us when you were uncertain about where you were going to turn. You trusted us with your personal stories and your lives. And as I look back, I just want to thank you for believing what Dr. Green believed back in 2003, and that I was worthy enough and a vessel that could be utilized to fulfill the mission of the Shugart Women's Center. So Dr. Green, I thank you for that opportunity. I don't take it lightly at all. I thank you for that. I want you all to remember that you can do anything in life. Sandra, you can do anything that you choose to do. Always remember that. Always remember that I've said on more than 1, 2, or 3 occasions that it doesn't matter how you start off in life or where you start. What matters is how you finish. And it's your choice how you finish. It's your choice where you finish. Whatever you do, don't ever quit. When I was a junior in college, my sister, who is here today, and I thank God for her, she handed me a poem, and that has been kind of the motto of the Shugart Women's Center. And if you've been in my office, you've seen it posted, and if you've been a student, I've given you a copy of that poem, and it simply says, "Don't quit." And I'm going to share that with you. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low, and they will get low, and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down just a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its turns and its twists, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about, when we might have won had we stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with one more blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you hit the hardest. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. I charge you all to do that. At this time, I know we're running short on time, and I don't want to belabor anything, but I do have to, I'm like Dr. Green, I don't want to mention a lot of names because I'll miss some. Because everybody in this room has had a part in the success of the Shugart Women's Center and the lives of our students. And I thank you for that. But there are a few that I do need to mention. First, I'd like to thank again Dr. Green for the opportunity. I'd like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Jewel Cherry, for believing in me and trusting me with the Shugart Women's Center. I would like to thank our newest member. You heard someone mention her, I think it was Ms. Franco mentioned our newest member of the Shugart Women's team, Yolanda Simmons. Yolanda, could you stand, please? Yolanda has been with us since February 9th. And she came in and she hit the ground running. She has helped us so much to get to this point today, and we're glad to have that young lady with us. I cannot sit down without mentioning my right hand, my left hand, my right elbow, my left elbow, my right knee, my left knee, and my feet. And that's Terry Chandler. And I know she's gonna get me for this, but all of you are my witnesses, and I expect you all to protect me. When I say, and I say it often, and often a lot of you hear me, the center just could not run without Terry. It could not. Some of you have called if Terry has been out, which is very rare. She's never out, but she had to take some time off right before Christmas. A family situation, And you would call me and ask me things. And I would say, well, Terry's not here. What do you want me to do? And I'd call Terry. And she'd tell me, well, look in the drawer at my desk on the left-hand side, the third cubicle, and you'll find it in back about 8 files back, and you can pull it out from right there. Why would somebody know that? Why? But Terry, you have truly, you're the face of the Shugart Women's Center. And your smile and your sincere desire to help illuminates that office. It's a haven for our women, and you're at the head of it because you're right there when they come in. So I have to present you with something today, and it simply says, presented to Terry Chandler, in great appreciation for your heart of dedication, devotion, and service to the mission. You have made a difference. I won't make her speak because that would be like really pushing it. And as Dr. Green said earlier, when he mentioned Mr. Grover Shugart, Mr. Shugart might get me too. He's probably one of the most humble men I have ever met in my life. And I thank you, Dr. Kovitz, for introducing us years ago. But when I met Mr. Shugart, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that the Women's Resource Center, now the Shugart Women's Center, was purposed. And the mission was ordained. And after I talked to him for the very first time, I knew it for sure. And I felt honored to be the one used to carry forth the mission. Mr. Shugart, you are truly a wonderful man. And this center, I have no doubt, will stand the test of time. It will continue to be a place for women to feel safe, to receive services, and to propel in their life's endeavors. We want to present you this token of appreciation, and it says, in grateful appreciation of your devotion and commitment to the Shugart Women's Center at Forsyth Technical Community College, you have made a difference. March 11, 2015. We thank you and God bless. I offered him to have a speak, and he doesn't want to. And he doesn't have to. Thank you all again so much. We will open the center at 3:45. If anyone is interested in coming by, most of you, I think, probably have seen the center, but if we've got people here who've never actually visited the center, if you want to go over, let me know. We do have a bus, a minivan, that will that will transport you over. Just let us know. Tony McKinnon has agreed to drive for me, and I am just so grateful. So grateful. Dr. Cherry?
Thank you, Shireen. I just want to say thank you all for being here. When I got here and I saw all of the current and former employees and friends of the center, my heart was just warmed. I know that the center has been such an important part of the lives of so many people. For those of you that have been retired and have decided to come back, or you've left and gone other places to work, and you've decided to come back today, that means a lot to us. And for those of you that work here and still took time out of your schedule, that means a lot to us as well. I was really hoping that somebody got a picture of Shireen, because I think I almost saw a tear. Those of you who know Shireen know that Shireen is a woman of strength and purpose. And we are so fortunate to have her to run the center. When I came into this position, you know, when you're good at something, people always try to get you to do something else. And so I tried several times to get Shireen to do something else. I wanted her to be supervisor of this, a supervisor of that, and she would always say no. The Women's Center is my purpose. I would say, Shireen, you could do this, you could do that, I could get you more money, and she's not, nope. The Women's Center is my purpose. And so she has just continued to work in her purpose. And she hears so many stories and so many tales of woe that would just break most of us down. But if you go into the Women's Center, it is the most nurturing and supportive place that you ever want to be. And so, Shireen and Terry, we just thank you for creating that environment on a college campus. We know that it doesn't happen by accident. And Shireen has invited anyone that's interested in going over today. I encourage you to do that. They have a beautiful, beautiful center with all of the it's just fabulous. I mean, the colors are beautiful. The sofa is wonderful. If you have not had an opportunity to lay on the sofa and tell her your woes, but we just encourage you to stop by to visit today. Mr. Shugart, today's my first opportunity to meet with you, to see you, to know you. However, I know you through Shireen. When I first came in, and Shireen would say, well, I talked to Mr. Shugart today. And I'm thinking, really? It's like, he's a financial supporter of this center, and you talked to him today? It was like, okay. But she kept saying, I talked to Mr. Shugart, and Mr. Shugart is more than a financial supporter of the center. Mr. Shugart is a friend of the Women's Center at Forsyth Tech. A friend will call you and ask you if everything's okay. A friend will want to know, do you have everything you need? And that's what Mr. Shugart does for us, and we are thankful for you being a part of the Shugart Women's Center. I am not going to belabor the event any longer, but I want to say thank you all for being here. It means an awfully lot to us to have you come on this rainy day in March to celebrate 15 years of the Shugart Women's Center. But we certainly hope that in 10 to 15 years that we're doing this again. Thank you all today for being here. We want to invite you to a reception that will be in the lobby. We ask everyone to stay and enjoy and mingle and just have an opportunity to interact with friends. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Franco.